The Biden administration has authorized construction of a new section of border wall in Texas Rio Grande Valley. It marks a reversal President Joe Biden's campaign promise that not one more leg of the border wall would be built under his authority at a time when he faces growing pressure from Republicans and members his own party to reduce rising border crossings. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said in a notice in the Federal Register that there is a pressing and immediate need at this time for construction of new border wall to prevent unauthorized border crossings. In approving plans to build wall, he waived dozens of federal laws, including National Environmental Policy Act, Endangered Species Act, Clean Water Act and Clean Air Act. The Rio Grande Valley region of the border alone encountered nearly 300,000 migrants between October 2022 and August of this year. According to data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, migrant seizures across the border are also high. These numbers peak at over 200,000 in September this year. Biden argues that he has no choice about whether the border wall project should move forward. In his speech in Oval Office on Thursday, he stated that money to be used for construction of wall was allocated during Trump administration in 2019 and claimed that it should be used for this purpose. I tried to get them to reallocate that money. Redirect the money, he said. Still, it's hard to see why the project isn't politically viable for him as he faces pressure from both sides to reduce the number of border crossings. Republicans are renewing their calls for Mayorkas to be removed from office, claiming he is ineffective. Former President Donald Trump, 2024 Republican frontrunner whose calls to build wall along entire southern border were a defining feature 2016 campaign, said he expects an apology from Biden for his past criticism of border wall. As I have often pointed out, it has been constant for thousands years. There are only two things that work: wheels and walls. He wrote in post on TruthSocial on Thursday. Democratic leaders across the U.S. also pressured the Biden administration for a solution. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson recently demanded that the White House take immediate action on immigrant arrivals, which they say their city is struggling to support. New York Mayor Eric Adams even traveled to Mexico for a public information campaign warning immigrants that his city did not have the resources to welcome newcomers. That doesn't mean ministration's decision is without criticism. Many Democratic lawmakers condemned the plan, including Texas Rep. Henry Cuellar, who called the plan waste and said a border wall is a 14th century solution to 21st century problem. It will not improve border security. For immigrant advocates, continuing border wall project points to the failure of Biden administration's policies. The Biden administratio